Cape Town City. Such a lovely day today, and I was inspired to actually do a quick live video with you guys. And so how are you feeling? How's it going? How are you feeling? I think the sun is a little bit too bright. I'm gonna put on my shades. Yeah, so how are you feeling? How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling as the person who already has their desires, or are you feeling a little bit stuck? But the good news is I'm going to share some powerful core principles from Neville Goddard on how to manifest with ease. If you think about it, manifestation is so simple. And I just want you to become aware of all the things that you manifested deliberately. Just think back on all the things that you've manifested deliberately. And that should be like a reminder to you on how powerful you are. Although we know that everything that we have right now, when you look at all your results, that is a result of manifestation. Even though your results are not desirable, but that is a result of manifestation. And you do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. And that brings me to the first principle. These are the 3 core principles of Neville Goddard to manifest any desire. Number 1, awareness. So you have to become who are you being on a daily basis. You have to become aware. Who were you being yesterday? You have to become aware. What do you tell yourself in your mind? What is your current self-talk? And what are your inner conversations about? You know, those conversations that you always have with your friends, family, and colleagues? What are those conversations about? So the first principle is awareness. You have to become aware of who you are. Become aware of your self-concept. If you, maybe to give you some more clarity, you rate yourself from 1 to 10 on all the major categories of your life. You rate yourself on your happiness, your health, your wealth, your bank account, on a scale of 1 to 10, without actually being hard on yourself or judging yourself. Because you just want to become aware of where you're at. So now when you're actually aware of where you're at, for example, maybe if you see that, you know what, currently I am lacking at this area of my life and that area, and I actually would love to improve in this area or that area. So the beautiful thing is about awareness. You have clarity. You're not running away from the problem, or you're not trying to avoid, or you're not trying to live in denial. You are telling yourself, okay, I want to become aware of who I am right now. Who am I? What is my current self-concept? Okay, my current self-concept is this, that, and the other. Maybe, like for example, let me give you an example, personal example. When I went through my transformational journey with the law of assumption, I had patterns in my life that constantly repeated itself. Like number one was, money in, money out, money in, money out. I could never actually have more than enough money. So when money came in, it just left as soon as it came in. Now that was a pattern in my life, right? And another one was actually with love. I didn't want to get married because I believe that all women are the same. I'm like, I'm not even going to waste my time because all women are the same. Why should I even bother getting into a relationship, number one, or getting married? And the reason why I thought that all women are the same is because of what I've seen with my friends and in my past as well. So I assigned a meaning to that experience, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what? All women are the same. I'm not even going to waste my time. But that's obviously not the truth. All women are not the same. That's not the truth. So when I became aware of those patterns in my life, I then had the power to actually release them, because I didn't want them to constantly show up and repeat themselves in my life. And how do you release any pattern that constantly? So if you are having repetitive, undesirable patterns in your life, all you need to do is just become aware of it. Ask yourself, when was the first time that this happened in my life? Go to that moment, release it, and you'll be empowered. And you will actually see that when the pattern tries to repeat itself again, you're going to notice it, because you're going to like, nope, I actually took time to become aware and to release it as well. So the first principle is awareness. You have to become aware of who are you being. You have to become aware of what are your self-talk, what are your inner conversations, what are your current results. And also, the most important one is you have to know who you are. I used to think that I was my name, my body, my thoughts, and my feelings, because I always identified myself with my thoughts and my feelings. So if I feel a certain way, I would say that I am that. Or if I maybe think a certain way, I would say that I am that. Well, that's obviously how I was brought up, to believe that I am my thoughts and my feelings and my body as well. But that's obviously also not the truth. Why is it not the truth? Because I can become aware of my body. I can become aware of my hand right now. I can become aware of my nose. I can also become aware of my thoughts and my feelings. I can actually watch my thoughts and my feelings right now. And I can also become aware of my entire body. So that means is that I am not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, and I'm also not my body. So who am I then? I am the awareness, the I amness. So I am that, the power that is within me and around me. And that power is infinite and it's limitless. So that is who I am. So I am the awareness having a human experience. And whilst I'm having this human experience, I appreciate this human experience. I love my body for what it is. I love myself for what it is. I mean, previously, I always used to be hard on myself. I always used to judge myself. I always used to compare myself with other people, But now, thank God, within me, I've actually accepted who I am as I am right now, without trying to add or change anything. I just accept myself for who I am. Now, when you accept yourself for who I am, wow, you will love your human experience. You will love your body. You will look forward to actually spending time with yourself. You will find a friend within yourself. You won't have any problems actually spending time with yourself. I mean, I couldn't even sit in stillness with myself. I always had to distract myself, whether that's reading, listening to an audiobook, watching Netflix, hanging out with friends. I always had to distract myself because I never accepted myself for who I am. I never became my own best friend. But now, thank God, within me, I now love myself who I am. I always just hug myself. I kiss myself. And I say, you know what, Gabriel? I love you so much, man. I love you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this experience to experience this 3D reality, even though it's only an illusion, but I love it. I really appreciate everything about it. And this is still a journey. Like every day, I am making time to actually spend time with myself. So this is a journey. So if you want the full-on human experience, you want to know who you are the God self, and you are the 3D self as well. So you want to bring them together, the God self and the 3D self. It's like a dance, right? So if you have any desire, you know that all you have to do is you go within, you accept that you are the person who now has that desire, and then you allow your God self to sort out everything. So you forget about the how and you enjoy the now. So you ask yourself, what do I love doing? What do I enjoy in my 3D experience? Do you love reading, hanging out with people? Do you love watching Netflix? Do you love playing sports? Do that and know that your desire is already a done deal. So number one was awareness. You want to become aware of who you are and also become aware of what your current self-concept is. So when you are aware of what your current self-concept is, you now have clarity on how to actually choose what do you really, really want. Which brings me to the step number 2, clarity. You ask yourself, okay, what do I really, really want? What do you really, really want? Not your partner, not your family, not your pet. What do you want? What do you really, really want? If you could be, do, or have anything in this 3D experience, what would that be? And remember, you can't fail. You cannot fail. You can have anything, no matter how big or small. You can have anything. So you ask yourself, what do I really, really want? What do I want? It's so interesting that some of our clients, they don't actually really know what they want. But however, I was also, with some of my desires, I was also kind of the same as well. Because I knew that, okay, I wanted financial abundance, but I didn't actually know what the exact amount was. And it was important that I knew the exact amount, because now I actually know when I'm actually thinking about my goal, I can see it in my bank account already. Like, for example, so we're talking about clarity right now, right? With my telecoms business, I really wanted to take it to the next level. And I had to become clear in what that next level was. And when I actually really sat and took time to become clear, I realized that the next level was $1 million. I wanted to take my telecoms business to $1 million. And when I became clear, man, there was just something within me that was like, okay, yeah. It felt so. It's like, you're going to the grocery store, right? And doing some shopping, and when you take your list with you, and as you're shopping, you're just ticking it off and off and off and off, and when you're done, you feel so accomplished. You're like, oh man, I'm glad I actually finished this task. Now similarly, with when you are clear with what you want as well. So if that is a partner, what kind of partner do you want? Do you want a vegetarian, or do you want a person that eats meat? Do you want an adventurous person, or do you want a person that just chills and just indoor? Like, you want to be clear in, okay, I want this type of person. Because when you are clear, you're actually going to get what you want. So for example, when I manifested my wife, I was very, very clear. I took out a piece of paper. I wrote down all the qualities and the attributes that I wanted in a woman. And after that, I accepted that I am already married to that woman. That's it. I accepted that I was already a blissful husband, because the law of assumption states that whatever you desire, all that is required from you is just to accept that you are now the person who has your desire. Not later, not tomorrow, not when the government does this, not when the weather is this. No, no, no. You accept right now that you are the person who now has your desire. Would you accept that right now? Are you bold enough to accept that right now? I know for me, first it was freaking scary, right? It was like, really? So you can have anything you want? You just have to accept it? It was freaking scary for me because, number one, I didn't have reference experience. I did not really actually believe that my imagination was the true reality. I didn't believe, because I wasn't brought up like that. So what I did, I started off small. So that's why in my book, the book that I wrote, Become a Master at Manifesting, if you're interested in purchasing the book, it will help you tons and tons. We got so many success stories from people that actually purchased the book. But anyway, so in the book, I actually share how I manifested all my dream desires, and how you can also test that your imagination is God. Now, it's very important to understand that your imagination is God. It creates. Anything that you accept right now in your imagination is already a done deal. It's a done deal. There's nothing else for you to do. When you say, I accept that I am now a millionaire, that is enough. That is enough. You don't have to do anything else. The only thing you need to do is remind yourself that that is your new identity. Now you can remind yourself in a whole different ways. I love to use gratitude and guided meditations, because when I say thank you, I know it's a done deal. I don't have to convince myself. I know that it is done. Right. So we covered awareness and clarity. Now the third principle of Neville Goddard's principles to manifest any desire. The third one is action. And when I say action, I mean inner action. So now, number one, awareness. When you are aware of who you are, your old self-concept, and you are aware of your true identity. And number two, you're now clear in what it is you want. What do you want your new self-concept to be? And when you're clear in what it is you want, action. And when I say action, I mean inner action. And inner action is simply just you accepting that you are now the person who has your desire in your imagination. So when I wanted to manifest my dream car, which is a Range Rover, at the time I was driving a VW. So I knew that I had to actually accept that I am already a Range Rover owner. I knew I had to do that. So my 3D told me that no, you're driving a VW. You don't have a Range Rover. But now check this out. I knew that the only true reality is my imagination. So if I say in my imagination that I am a Range Rover owner and I've got a Range Rover, that is the truth. Now the 3D is only a reflection. So even though the 3D says, no, Gabriel, you don't have a Range Rover, bro. You've got a VW. I'm not going to fight the 3D. I'll acknowledge it and I'll remind the 3D that that is my old story. I'm not going to fight it. I'll say, yeah, I hear you, bro, I hear you. But that was my old story. My new story is I am a Range Rover owner now. Now check this out. When you remain faithful to your desire without wavering, it hardens into fact. In other words, it reflects in your 3D reality, which we call a manifestation. If you are bold enough just to remain faithful without contradicting yourself, without wavering, I used to accept that I have my desire, right? I used to say, yeah, I've got my desire. And then something happens. The 3D, shows me something, or my mind says one thing. And then I would just waver. And then I would act as the person who doesn't have my desire. And then I would watch another YouTube video, try another technique. And I would go around and round and round this hamster wheel. And man, when I finally applied the law of assumption, which is freaking simple. When I applied it how I supposed to apply it, how Neville Goddard shares, and then I saw stuff happening. I manifested my dream desires, man. It's such a beautiful thing now, because it's like if you know that you are God, nothing can mess with you, man. You can actually be in a country where there's war, but if you tell yourself in your imagination that no, there's peace and you are peaceful, you'll experience that because you create your own reality. So, action. All that is required from you is to accept that you are the person who has your desire now. Now, the moment you've accepted that you have your desire now, you just have to remind yourself of that new story. Now, you can remind yourself through a whole lot of different techniques, methods, because the technique does not manifest, or the method does not manifest. You do. The technique is just to help you to get yourself into the state of the wish fulfilled. Right, like I said, my favorite technique is gratitude, and obviously guided meditation, because or sets, how Neville Goddard calls it, because when you're in that guided meditation, for example, if your desire is to manifest $1 million, right, and if you just visualize in your imagination how you are now enjoying that $1 million, how you are spending that $1 million, how you are helping your friends and family with that $1 million, and if you feel the feelings of already having that $1 million, your 3D immediately starts to change and conform, because the real reality is your imagination. And whatever you experience in your imagination is the truth. That is the true reality. So your 3D simply reflects what is happening in your mind. Now I want you to become aware of what you have experienced in your life yesterday. Everything that you've experienced in your life yesterday was a result of your mindset. Now check this out. If you do not like what you've experienced yesterday, all you need to do is just change your mindset. And that's what I've just shared with the 3 fundamental principles of Neville Goddard. Number 1, awareness. Number 2, clarity. Number 3, action. And when you know exactly who you are now, you know exactly what you want, and then all that is required from you is just to accept that you have it now. And you live as though you already have it in your imagination. You don't have to be delusional in the 3D. Like when I manifested my my Range Rover, I did not tell people, oh, look at my Range Rover, because at the time I drove a VW, right? I didn't tell my friends and family, hey, look at my Range Rover. No, I did that in my imagination. Why would I do it in my imagination? Because my imagination is the true reality. My imagination is the real world. This world is only an echo. This world is only a reflection. So whatever you're doing right now, whatever you're accepting right now, will show up later on. Now, what I've actually discovered from a lot of people, clients that we're working with, is a lot of our clients actually know exactly what to do, but they do not know how to apply it. They don't know how to apply it, but it's so easy to apply it. You just have to accept that you already have it. When you accept that you have your desire right now, it's the done deal. It's done. Of course, the 3D is going to say that you do not have it, and your mind is going to say that you do not have it. Of course, but your job as God is to tell your 3D and tell your mind that you do have it, and that whatever you experience in your 3D or in your mind that is limiting you, it's simply just your old story. But you have to understand that it is your old story, right? Because when you have an understanding that, oh, okay, this is actually, it used to be my old story, then when the 3D challenges you or your mind challenges you, then you can then respond back to them and say, hey, that was my old story. That was my old story. My new story is X, Y, Z. And you remain faithful to that new story. Irrespective of what happens, you remain faithful. And your 3D will then reflect your new story. So like I said, it is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy, because for some people, when the 3D challenges them, or when their mind says, no, you're talking crap, don't talk shit, man, you don't have your desires, and then boom. I mean, I used to freak out as well. I remember when I used to manifest, especially when it comes to money, like big amounts. And then my 3D would say, no, don't talk shit. You don't have that. You don't have that amount. And then I would I would waver, right? I'd just go back and back and forth. But then when I gained confidence in my imagination, when I saw that, oh snap, my imagination is actually God, it does create. Because I literally tested it with over more than hundreds and hundreds of desires. I tested it, and when I saw that my imagination is actually God, it creates, and then nothing could take that away from me. Why? Because I actually had an experience now. I literally lived it. I told myself, okay, I want to manifest X. And when I saw X showed up, I'm like, okay, this stuff works. And I tried it again. I'm like, okay, this stuff works. And I tried it again. I'm like, okay, this stuff works. And I tried it again. I'm like, okay, this stuff works. I'm like, say, you know what? Let me share with other people on how to do this as well. Because if it can transform my life, then surely it can do this to other people as well. And so this live was simply just to say, hey, remember who you are. You are the God of your reality. You are not a victim. Things doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. What do I mean by that? When you go into a restaurant, the waiter doesn't just give you breadcrumbs and water and peanuts. No, the waiter waits on you to actually put in your order. And when you put in your order, later on, boom, you then get what you actually ordered. Because the chef is making it for you. And everything is done for you because you are in control when you are in that restaurant. Now, same thing applies with your life as well. When you look at everything that you've experienced, when you look at your results, that didn't happen to you. It happened for you because of your acceptance. You've accepted whatever you're experiencing right now, whether that's consciously or subconsciously, whether that's, whether you are aware of it or not aware of it. But you are the operant power. You are the operator. So why don't you take this opportunity right now and say, you know what? I'm actually going to test this. I'm not going to play games. And I'm going to become very clear in what it is I want. And I'm going to accept that I already have it. And I'm going to remain faithful to that, irrespective what my 3D or my mind says. I'm going to remain faithful. And when you have that attitude and that approach, you are unstoppable. Nothing or no one can stop you. And you can have any experience in your life, whether it's big or small. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Let's have a look. Let me have a look here. If you have any questions, shoot. Let me have a look here. Let me check on my iPad. Let's have a look here. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to answer this question by Jem. She says that, hi, I am now able to acknowledge my awareness. I can hear negative thoughts when the topic of money comes up in my mind and flipped it, yet money still isn't showing up. No lottery, job, checks, help. So when it comes to money, you want to ask yourself, when I ask you, what are your beliefs about money? What would you tell me? For example, my beliefs about money used to be that it's hard to come by, it's limited, and I have to work hard. And then I ask myself, are those really beliefs actually true? I said, no, of course not, because I've got friends that don't work hard for money and yet they are actually flourishing. They are extremely wealthy. So that's obviously not true. So I changed those beliefs to say that nope, money is unlimited. Money comes to me easily. I don't even have to work for money because I get paid to exist. And I always receive large sums of money out of thin air. When I changed those beliefs that I had, things started to change. You have to take time and ask yourself, what do you believe about money? And whatever comes up, you then sit, release that BS, because most of the time, if it's limiting beliefs, it's just BS that you've accepted when you were probably a child, teenager, young adult. Just release that. And then you, from that space, you then state your new beliefs about money. My beliefs about money is I get paid to exist. I always receive large sums of money out of thin air. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly, and I have unlimited amounts of money right now. That's my beliefs. And it shows that, and my 3D always shows me evidences of my beliefs. So, Jem, Wilson, that's what you have to do. Because if you're not going to change your current beliefs about money, you're constantly going to experience this undesirable results, unfortunately, irrespective of what you're going to do, because your beliefs create your reality. So because remember, you do not manifest what you want. You only manifest who you are. And who you are is your beliefs. So if you believe that you are a loving person, you are going to experience circumstances in your life that shows you that you're a loving person. You're going to meet the love of your life. People are going to treat you loving, kindly, and you're just always going to have these loving, awesome experiences in your life because you believe that you're a loving person. Right? Okay. Oh yeah, so Hanat says when we see a lot of synchronicities, are we manifesting correctly? Yeah, so when you seeing synchronicities, it just means that you are actually living in abundance. So for example, if you are grateful for what you have right now, you are an abundant person, you are a prosperous person. So when you live in gratitude, you'll constantly experience synchronicities because you are focusing on what you want instead of what you do not want. Yeah, so to answer your question, yes. Okay, so what's the one thing you do to keep the old story in the past? Well, so the old story is just like your old self-concept. So when I actually work with my clients, I tell them that, listen here, we are now going to bury your old self-concept 6 feet underground, and we're no longer going to talk about your old self-concept. We're going to bury your old self-concept, and we're going to make sure we cover it with cement so it doesn't come up, again. And we are now going to take this moment and accept your new self-concept. Accept that you are now your 2.0 version of yourself. You're no longer the 1.0 version. So you have to really have that dialogue with yourself and say, hey, okay, my old story is now dead. I am no longer going to subscribe to it. I am now unsubscribed. And then I am now subscribing to my new story, my new self-concept, my 2.0 version. And now you just live from there. When your old story does come up, you tell your old story that, hey, you are dead and I'm no longer subscribed to you. So when you do that over and over and over again, it becomes easier. And then your mind will then give in and say that, hey, you have won. And that's where the shift happens, right? So yeah, I just want to take this a moment to quickly, experience, like, to share with you how you shift your identity. So if you have an identity at the moment whereby you experience lack in your life, a lack of finances, a lack of money, and when you give up this old identity and you accept a new identity, which is financial abundance, financial freedom, and you remain faithful to this new story. When your old story comes up, you tell your old story that you're no longer subscribing to that, but it is going to challenge you. Your 3D is going to challenge you and your mind, because your mind just wants to keep you safe. It just wants to keep you safe because you've believed the old story of lack for your entire life. And now all of a sudden you want to come and change it and say, no, you're financially free. Your mind is not going to allow you to actually get off that easily, right? Because it just wants to keep you safe. Now, your job is to reassure your mind and say, hey, it is safe. Don't worry. That was my old story. My new story is now I am financially abundant. Now, when you do this, every time you get triggered by the 3D, it becomes easier and easier. And then you then shift into your new identity where your mind now accepts that, okay, Gabriel is now financially abundant. He is financially free. So it's all good. See, and now it's just a beautiful thing. Now you actually get to experience all the fruits of financial abundance in your life. It's a beautiful thing because you've now shifted into that new version of yourself. You've now accepted that you are the person who is financially free. It's a beautiful thing. It's absolutely beautiful, right? Okay. Okay. Are you South African? Yes, yes, yes. I'm South African. I'm actually in Cape Town. I'm based in Cape Town. Desire changes before manifestation. How to know which one do I want? Work, career, related. Yeah. So you just ask yourself, right? Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. What do you really, really want? What makes your heart smile? What tickles your fancy? What satisfies your soul? What do you really, really want? If you could be, do, have anything right now, what is that? The first thing that comes up, that's probably your heart's desire. Do that and then, do that. So whatever comes up, accept that. Usually it's going to be a freaking big, big, big desire. The reason why we need big goals is because big goals keeps us on our toes, right? Because you're going to be so excited. If you have a goal right now to manifest $100,000, and maybe if that's huge for you, that's going to oh wow, obviously you're not going to believe that you're worthy of that, and you're also not going to believe that it is possible, but it's going to excite you. And then all you have to do is just release the limiting beliefs and say that, hey, I am worthy because I am my God self having a human experience. And my God self is worthy of having anything and everything. Not your God self. Your God self is already perfect, whole, and complete. Your human self is worthy of having anything and everything. So that's the reason why you deserve everything and more. Because you are perfect, whole, and complete. So do that, Sujata. That funny at yeah. So yeah, guys. Like, so just to end of this live, like I said, remember that you are extremely powerful, because you are not just your thoughts and your feelings, and you are not just your body, but you are that power, that awareness that is aware of your body, your thoughts, and your feelings. And that awareness is infinite and limitless. Now, you can call that power whatever you want. You can call it consciousness, I amness, awareness, whatever you want to call that power. Just know that that is who you are. So, whatever you're going through right now, it may seem challenging. You just have to know that in order for you to manifest any desire, all that is required is just to accept that you are the person who has your desire right now. So if you want to be in a loving relationship, or you want to be married, you have to accept that you are a loving partner, or that you are a loving husband or loving wife right now. If you want your dream car, you have to accept that you are already a dream car owner. If you want your dream home, you have to accept that you already are a homeowner. If you want, perfect health, you have to accept that you are a healthy person right now. Right now, as I'm talking, you have to accept it. And the moment you accept your desire, you now remain faithful to that new desire without wavering or without contradicting yourself. So, what do I mean by that? If you accept that you are let's just say, for example, you accept that you are a millionaire right now, you then just remain faithful. And you ask yourself, now that I am a millionaire, how does it make me feel? How does it make me feel now that I am a millionaire? How am I thinking? How am I feeling? How am I acting? How am I relating to other people now that I am a millionaire? And all those answers that you'll be writing down or that comes up, you want to live from that new identity. Because remember, you do not manifest who you are. You manifest, you do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. Right? So you do not manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. As Neville Goddard said that, when you change your conception of yourself, your entire world will change automatically. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change. So all you need to do is change your conception of yourself, and your entire world will change automatically. What is your conception of yourself? It is how you feel about yourself right now and what you believe to be true about yourself. What do you believe to be true about yourself? What do you believe to be true about yourself? If you're not sure what your self-concept is, have a look at your results. Have a look at your health, your happiness, your wealth, your bank account. It will tell you exactly what your self-concept is. Now, if you want to change that, all you need to do is change what you now believe about yourself. So, for example, if your new self-concept is financial abundance. You just have to accept that you are the person who is already financially abundant right now. Remember, you're not trying to get financially abundant. You have to accept that you are already financially abundant. So you have to be that person right now. So it's a complete identity shift. So you shift from the old to the new. And a good example that I can give you is, if it's your birthday right now, today it's your birthday, and you are 25, your old birthday was 25, but your new age, your new birthday is 26. The moment it's your new birthday, your birthday, you accept the new age. You accept it. Oh, I am 26 now. I am 26, and because it's my birthday. You don't argue, you don't waver, you don't, doubt yourself. You just accept it. Yes, I am my new age now. Now that's exactly what you have to do with your desire as well. Accept that, oh yeah, I am my new self-concept now. I am no longer the old self-concept. I am now the new self-concept. And you remain faithful to that, and your 3D reality will reflect your new self-concept automatically. It will happen automatically, which is a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing. So, okay, how to answer the 3D people. Yeah, I'll just quickly do these two questions, and then I'm going to sign off. Alina, how to answer the 3D people who always asking, why delay, why delay, why delay? You can have questions with the 3D people in your imagination. And when you actually have, not questions, you can have conversations with the 3D people in your imagination. And when you have conversations in your imagination with the 3D people will change. So that's how you do it. And what's your morning, night-time routine for manifesting? Yeah, so for me is in the morning, I express my gratitude that I am the person who has my desire, and I actually express it in such a way that I really feel that I have it now. I don't just kind of, say it, but I actually make time to actually feel, to immerse myself. And I ask myself, okay, now that I am the person who has my desires, how does it make me feel? And the moment I get the feeling, I then express my gratitude. And in the evenings, what I now do is like a guided meditation. So I do this for my wife and our clients as well. So it's similar to sets. And so it's just a guided meditation that loops your desire over and 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 over in your imagination. And so there's like a few prompts that I actually do in the meditation as well that will have you experience your entire desire. In other words, it gives you the opportunity to immerse yourself in your new desire. You can have a look at our free coaching on the channel. Have a look at the free coaching, and you can see like that gives you an idea of how I do it. But in our coaching, we obviously do it. It's like more it's much more in depth, and it's also personalized as well. It's also personalized as well, because you just want to get to a point where you now accept that you are the person who has your desire, and you also want to feel that way as well. So these tools, methods, and techniques should just help you to actually get to that point. And the moment you accept that you already have your desire, Bob's your uncle. It's a done deal. Bob's your uncle. So right, okay. So after imagining something, love you all. Thank you, Alina. We love you too. Yeah, Om is such a bundle of bliss. It's just so amazing, man. So after imagining something for some time, I keep getting old results. Why? I mean, the question, listen to yourself. You say that after imagining for some time, I keep getting old results. You know why? Because you are focusing on the old results. So you have to change your focus. You have to, because wherever you place your focus, you're going to get more of that. So you want to change your focus and say, hey, I already got my desires. And you're not supposed to wait for your desires. You have to accept that you have it now. You have to accept that you have it now. Yeah, so if you're going to wait, you do not create. The law of assumption states that you have to assume that you are the person who has your desire now, because the real world is in your imagination. The 3D is a mirror, it's a reflection. So if you accept that you have your imagination, if you accept that you have your desire in your imagination right now, it's a done deal. It's done. Now you can enjoy your life. It's done, because the real world is your imagination. It's the true reality. The 3D is only a mirror, it's a reflection. And all you have to do is just accept in your imagination that you have it, and then the 3D automatically changes. It automatically reflects what you've accepted in your imagination. Okay, guys, that was awesome. It was nearly an hour. I hope you enjoy this, and and I believe in all of you guys. I know you got this. And if you need help with coaching, you can book a free discovery call with us. And I can discuss with you how we can actually help you by working with you one-on-one, and we can take it from there. So yeah, if you need help with coaching, you can click in the link in the description, and you can book a free discovery call, with us. Having said that, keep smiling, enjoy your blissful day, and remember, you already have your desires. It's a done deal.